Been 2 months on carnivore, and there have been a lot of changes. The first month was spectacular. There was all of the physical, uncomfortable bowel changes for the first few weeks, but even during that time of that transition, my body adjusting, I had this clarity of mind and energy that has been just so exciting. And then I was able to do more than I've been able to do in years. So I was so excited to see these changes. And I, of course, I lost an entire size, a size and a half. I don't have a scale, so I don't count pounds. I'm more interested in my health, and going down a size makes me feel more comfortable in my body, which I know reduces inflammation and all kinds of good things are happening. I don't puke up my food anymore. Before I joined carnivore, everything I ate other than meat, I would regurgitate it. And it was very disgusting. The food just would kept coming up. And that doesn't happen anymore. My bowels are working better. My sleep is better. I got a sliver in my finger a couple weeks ago, and it went halfway down my finger. Like it was actually a sizable sliver. Tripped on a piece of wood sticking out of the ground when we were at the river, and I got a pretty good sized gash in my leg. And this is what has improved, is that my body fights these things now. So I used to have these problems where I would get a hangnail and I would get a blood infection. I would have to go get antibiotics, so I don't die from a hangnail. Like just nothing healed, like that scratch on my leg would have taken months to heal. And I probably would have ended up on antibiotics for that as well. And my body's just healing. Things are healing. So these are exciting things. After a month, I ended up stalling in my weight loss, and at the same time, fatigue started to hit my body. The fatigue has been pretty discouraging. I got to that point where I wasn't sure if I should just keep going. I thought maybe that the diet itself was causing the fatigue, that there was something wrong with the way I was eating, that I was making myself sicker. And I already have enough health concerns. My Lyme disease and POTS and fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and a plethora of other things. I don't have capacity to feel sicker. I'm already couch bound, house bound. Like I can't drive, I can't go anywhere. I've had to really process why I'm doing this and if it's worth it. And I keep coming back to the fact that these little changes mean that something is getting better. And the fact that I am not puking up my food is a big enough reason all on its own to stick with this diet. So, this past month, I've been working really hard at understanding fatigue. And one of the reasons that I found that can cause fatigue is not having enough fat in your carnivore diet. If you're too meat heavy, the protein is too much for your body. The fat is really what brings so much healing and what gives our brains the food it needs to be really clear and energetic. The other things that I've learned as well that could be causing this, I did some changes. I cut back on some of my supplements, which I suggest not doing. I tried fasting, which I definitely suggest not doing at the beginning. I'm planning to wait a good 6 months before I attempt fasting again, like the intermittent fasting where you just go a little bit less. I tried doing where I just skipped breakfast. So it really wasn't a big deal. It's not like I did this huge change. I just started to cut back my breakfast a little later, a little later, a little later till I didn't need breakfast anymore. And then I was just eating lunch and supper. That just made me feel worse and worse and worse. Another thing that could have happened is I may not have just been eating enough. If you've gotten to that point where your body is really starting to push out a lot of inflammation and clean out your bowels and your gut and balance things, that can cause some detoxing that some of us just aren't healthy enough to handle. So I'm going to try some charcoal to add to my regimen that I'm hopeful will help with the detox process. Charcoal isn't something your body digests and takes in and uses. It's something that binds to toxins and bacteria in your system and carries it out when you poop it out. So it's one of those things that I've tried years ago, and I think I'm going to add it in and see if that makes a difference. I'm really excited about the future and how it's going to go. I'm doing better with my fat intake. I've found some things that are really helping, and I'm going to share some videos about that soon, so keep an eye open for that. Another thing I've learned that can cause the fatigue is not drinking enough water and your electrolytes being out of balance, and I've done videos on that as well that can help you out if you're struggling with fatigue. So if you're in that place like I am, where it's just not moving along as fast as you'd like it to, hang in there. Sometimes it's just going to take longer, and you just got to stick it out, and your body will heal. Things will get better. It's just going to take some time. And I tell this to myself all the time. I go back to why I'm doing this in the first place. And even though there's small changes, there's changes, you guys. And what else have you done that have caused these kinds of changes? So this is why you're here. Let me know what I can pray for you about and how you're doing on your carnivore journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this was any help to you. And God bless you guys, and we'll talk